Alright, so this is a question from Sundeep on one of my videos about nootropics. And in other videos I've spoken about what's called intermittent fasting, which is where you only eat for a certain block of hours in any 24-hour period. So you might, for example, not eat for 16 hours and then eat for 8 hours. It's a very good biohack. It's a very good way of regulating your insulin levels and your hormones, and basically just keeping your body working at the most efficient way, But Sundeep asks, what about if you take nootropics? Does taking nootropics break a fast? So when you're doing intermittent fasting, if you ingest any calories, here's how intermittent fasting works, just stepping back a bit here. So when you do intermittent fasting, the goal is to get your body to become ketonic. You need to put your body into a state of ketosis, which is where it starts burning fat for energy instead of carbohydrates, instead of glucose. In that period, if you ingest any calories, if you eat anything other than water, if you eat or drink anything other than water, your body will start using those calories as fuel, because your body's preferred source is glucose. So if you're doing a fast and then you have, for example, a coffee with milk in, your body will ingest that milk and start to break down the calories in the milk, and you won't be in ketosis anymore. Your body will be using glucose and carbohydrates from the milk as your fuel. With a nootropic, it's a bit different, because the ingredients in the nootropics typically don't contain any calories. And this obviously varies depending on what you're taking, but most nootropics don't have any calories in them. So the problem is not that you're going to break your ketosis. If you take a nootropic on an empty stomach, that's not the problem. The problem is that what you'll typically find happen, especially if there's caffeine or something, in the nootropic itself, what you will find is that you will feel nauseous, because your body, at least my body, and it's the same for many others as well, your body doesn't like to have pills or supplements on an empty stomach. Most people don't get on well when they do that. There are some lucky people who can take pills on an empty stomach, and if you can do that, then that's even better. You can take a nootropic on an empty stomach without needing any food. But what I would say over half of people find is that you need to have food with a nootropic. So the way I look at it is like this. The benefits you'll get from a nootropic are best used when you're already lagging in terms of your mental capacity. If you take them first thing in the morning, most people are already feeling alert first thing in the morning. So you don't really need a nootropic at that time. So what I would suggest to do is to wait until, if you're doing intermittent fasting and you're missing breakfast, if you're not going to eat anything until, let's say, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't need a nootropic to keep you going, because one of the benefits of intermittent fasting is that you will feel more alert and your brain will be working better anyway. So take advantage of that in the morning, use your brain power that's already going to be boosted. And then when it gets to lunchtime, what's going to happen when you're doing intermittent fasting is when you do finally eat, when you do have your lunch, let's say if it's at 1 o'clock, your body's going to produce a spike in insulin, or at least a blip in insulin. It's going to go up a little bit, and that's usually, if you have a huge meal especially, that's going to make you feel a bit tired afterwards. So the best time to have a nootropic, if you're doing that, is to actually have it with food, because then the nootropic will counteract the grogginess that you might feel after eating a meal. At least that's what I've found. So that's been my perspective. But yeah, I would love to hear what you think, so leave a comment. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I do post weekly biohacking, personal growth videos and things like that. And yeah, leave a comment letting me know what you think. See you next time.